My name is Kevin Kircher. I'm an assistant professor in the School of Mechanical Engineering, and I have a courtesy appointment in the Elmore Family School of Electrical and Computer Engineering here at Purdue University. So electrifying a home means replacing the fossil fueled equipment, things like furnaces and boilers that we use for space heating, gas or propane or heating oil fired water heaters, and then cooking as well, things like natural gas or propane cooking, replacing those fossil fuel pieces of equipment with electric versions. So about 10% of global greenhouse gas emissions, in other words, 10% of the problem of climate change, comes from burning fossil fuels in our homes and our businesses. And so switching those activities over from fossil fuels to electricity can significantly reduce those emissions. And the reason for that is that the United States, and in fact the whole world, has made really impressive and exciting progress on cleaning up the electricity grid. In fact, this is the main way that we've made climate progress in the country and in the world so far. So the idea behind electrification is to basically stop burning things in our homes and our businesses and instead use all that clean and abundant electricity that's being created increasingly on the power grid. So in addition to reducing greenhouse gas emissions and helping to mitigate climate change, electrifying our homes and our businesses can lower energy costs, in particular when we can replace propane or heating oil or electric resistance that's used for heating space or water heating. We can significantly reduce the energy cost that the consumer pays each month on our energy bills. In addition, burning things inside of the home can have detrimental effects for indoor air quality, emitting things like nitrogen dioxide, which can be a fairly significant driver or risk factor for some health considerations, such as childhood asthma and other respiratory illnesses in adults as well. So electrifying the home is a good way to improve indoor air quality and reduce energy costs in addition to combating climate change. So suppose that a home only has 100 amps of electrical service. That's basically the budget of the amount of current that can flow into the house. If the heat pump and the water heater are running at the same time, those devices together might consume 80 or 90 amps, leaving very little headroom for other devices, things like a blow dryer or a tea kettle, right? So the basic idea is to avoid all of that stuff running at the same time, to kind of spread out the operation of the different devices to keep the overall current of the home below that safe limit of, say, 100 amps. So my group has been developing software-based techniques to essentially coordinate the operation of the different devices within an all-electric home. So that could mean, for example, the heat pump that does space heating and cooling. It could mean the water heater, and also various other devices, things like induction cooking, electric vehicle charging, and other, all the other electrical devices that we have in homes, such as networking equipment, computers, laptops, lights, and so forth. So we focused on the thermal equipment specifically, the heat pump and the water heater, because together in our all-electric test home, the DC Nanogrid house, which is near Purdue's campus, those devices, the space heating and the water heating, consume about 80% of the electricity that the house uses in the winter months. And they're the main cause of significant high current draws that flow through wiring and panels and other electrical infrastructure. So our technology essentially staggers the operation of these devices so that, for example, when the heat pump is working really hard to keep the space comfortable, the water heater might not work so hard. And it might preheat overnight before there's a lot of activity in the home in order to basically make room for the space heating and other devices. So we developed a sophisticated control algorithm that uses thermal models of the home and of the water, predicts occupant behavior and so forth in order to kind of do this careful interleaving process of the different devices.